Is that going?
Hey, how are you, mate?
Hey Franco, how's it going?
It's good. It's Digital Impact Radio Series 2,
2.0.
2.0. Can you believe we're relaunching?
It's been 6 months since the last time we really did this, and I can't remember the last one that I listened to. But any recaps from the old series?
I reckon it was actually you doing a few shows based upon a hackathon here in Queensland, and you were interviewing a range of people. But you're right, it's 2.0. We're relaunching. It is still about digital impact, and we're still talking about projects, technology, trends, and what organisations are doing out there.
So what do you see being the thing that we do now? I think we've done a lot of searching. We've seen what happened. We've seen what worked and what didn't work. Um, so how do you see Series 2 being different?
Well, what I see is that the world is continually changing. I'd say in the last 6 months, things have changed two or three times.
Yep.
And I'd say things are just getting stronger with some of those elements. So let's talk about some of the trends.
Yep.
I think there's probably three trends I wouldn't mind talking about.
Cool.
One is around development, one is around digital platform, and the other one's just about the concept fail fast. So in terms of development, my gut feeling, and especially when I see what you're doing, development is cool again.
So dev is probably that tech view, but actually on the flip side, from the business perspective, then I'd be looking at um, not to use this in the glorified term that it can be, but innovation and how you actually get to market and validate this in new different ways. That's what they're looking for.
And I think people are starting to appreciate if you go down a development path, it could be the fastest way to take an idea into a model, into something people are engaging with.
Yeah, you're definitely right because everything that I'm seeing out there in the community is actually focused on how do we actually reduce all the barriers. So if you go to RFP, right, all that notion and understanding and gain to market is actually not helping you validate whether this is actually worth doing or not. So taking an internal dev approach to that is a low cost approach. However, if you've got a community approach where you can be open and tapping into whether it be open source, whether it be into research communities in the universities, or even startups that are willing to engage in a co-design method, then you're probably going to be leveraging all these resources that you may not even be able to do yourself in a traditional dev kind of process.
And I think for some of these organisations, they're picking up. This then provides the foundation of what they then call a digital platform going forwards.
You do need that digital platform because to get something in the hands of the user, are you going to build a product that's a physical product's harder to develop? To actually get it in, running a survey is actually not necessarily the best immersive experience around that. So putting digital product in someone's hands, whether it's a mobile, whether it's a user interface, chatbot, whatever that may be, you got to get it out there in the business so they can experience it and get real feedback as they do it day by day.
And one of the key vehicles I like talking about to get it in your hands and get the
Yep.
feedback is fail fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we often have discussions about that. You've got another way of putting it.
So fail fast to me is I hate the term because you're planning to fail, which is right, but you never go in the mindset of I just want to create a business and I just want to fail. So having that goal and wanting to succeed, but you have no plan B and you're all in means that you are fully invested. However, whether you go in there with just the fact that I want to deliver that is the wrong idea, right? You need to take these views that hey, if I do fail based upon my expectation, then that's a learning that I can take to the next.
And I think that's the key thing. To me, fail fast needs a bit of a backdrop, which is we're going to do this in a really short period of time,
Yep.
maybe 2, 3 days.
Yep.
We're going to do it with a number of people, 3 or 4 people.
Yep.
We're going to put ourselves into a room And at the end of that, we're going to be a lot smarter as a collective about the journey we are on. And we could probably do 3 or 4 fail fast type capabilities. And then within a month, you're actually much cleverer and you're much stronger with your capacity.
And then the next stage to that is great that you've got a concept within your small segment as far as what you tested and what sort of started to work. You got the vision. Is actually scaling that. How do you actually take that idea and take that concept and scale that such that it is sustainable? Right, it is actually making a bigger impact than what that small group is. And I think from a digital platform, once you've got that basis there, it's not necessarily scale from the digital perspective. It's actually scaling the people. Right? How do you get that technology or that idea across people that may not necessarily believe exactly what you believe in? So it's really looking at that hype cycle and marketing and evangelizing and telling the story and putting that value in people that don't necessarily know what you believe in.
So we've talked about trends enough. Let's have a little chat about technologies. What are some of the technologies that are exciting you at the moment?
So tech for me is definitely more on that data side. So where everyone's striving to get that real time and also the ability to have really granular information. So not necessarily big data per se, but just talking the other night with my wife around how she used to report things up. All the day-to-day information used to get lost because there were so many data points that management couldn't actually understand. So hence the roll-up concept around that operational report sort of happened. But you lose all the detail. But now that we've got the digital platform where we can actually deal with that kind of data at the day by day, and also talking about retail, all the nuances when you measure where people are coming through the door, those pieces of information, that piece of data can now be actually part of the insights that you can tap into without overburdening I've got too much data.
And things like data science, machine learning, predictive analytics have all got a role to play. I'm looking forward to hearing about some of those in the coming episodes.
So because I'm doing all the hacking health stuff and deep in that, there's so much data that we can use in those spaces to give purposeful impact to these organizations. So whether it's to patients, consumers, customers, there is going to be life-changing aspects. And part of what I'm looking at as well is a lot of the social enterprise side, using the technology and the digital platform that we take, I think we take for granted, that can be used in other forms to make bigger social impact and bigger impact to the global world.
And once we've got our data in place and we're blending new bits of data in, whether it's APIs, whether it's blockchain, whether it's augmented reality or digital assistant, there's a lot more capabilities organisations have got going forward.
Definitely so. So the tech is going to be the common element across all that. That's going to be across that, whatever industry or whatever purpose you have. We can always bring something to that. So that's a great place to be. And if we want to just dig in and help each other out, then it's going to be a better world.
Now, tell me, last but not least, before we finish off this episode, what are the sort of organisations we're going to be talking to?
So I think we're going to be talking to our traditional customers, right? So the bigger ones in the town, government, banking, retail, technology, manufacturing, utilities. I think we're going to have conversations with those kind of customers. We're going to be talking to our partners across the space, whether it be global SIs, our niche partners. But I reckon there's opportunities to have broader discussions into places like startups, scale-ups, into universities, research, because we've all got a story to share. We're always going to have a different perspective of that and how we can... Yesterday I was at TEDx Brisbane, and a term that has struck me is a multi-potentialite, which means that we're bringing all these disciplines across into a single place to draw greater value. We're going to need specialists, So whether you're from utilities and been there for 30 years, mixing that with a bit of research around blockchain or different economic models can create really exciting places where we can have really interesting conversations.
Well, thank you very much, Jason, for helping kick off Series 2, ready to start having a lot more episodes where we're talking technology, trends, and what organisations are doing to make it a digital impact in the world.
Thanks, Franco. Appreciate it. Cool.